Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. A good start. We're happy. We're excited. We're not pleased. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. When you talk about Saturday's game, it was what we expected. We felt the team, though, the fewest turnovers, the fewest penalties, had a really good chance to win that game. One against a really good football team, really good football program. For us to come out as underdogs on top, we see the maturation of the team, of the players. I told you guys earlier that this is a senior-led team, and that's what's happening. Those guys are taking the bull by the horn and actually leading this team. If you look behind you, my staff, my hogs, meaning the offensive line, those guys are back there. I want to give them a big shout out because a lot of times, everything is the head coach, the head coach, the head coach. Well, a lot of the decisions that were made Saturday were made as a team, as a staff, and that tells you and show you how intelligent, how sharp those young men are, and how hard they've been working. Offensive line-wise, I think we went 4 or 5 weeks before we gave up a sack. That's pretty good, and we're just scratching the surface of the potential of those young men that are protecting Dalen and blocking for guys like Noah, and obviously protecting for guys like Gilberto. So. We're pleased, but we're not satisfied. I guess that's what I should be saying. And they understand that. So they've risen the bar, and now we have to continue to push the envelope so that we can at some point get to where we want to be, and that's what we talked about from day one, and that's being a conference champion.
Coach, when you had back-to-back overtime games, and then you go into another down-to-the-wire game, do you have more confidence in your team that they'll be able to step up in those situations?
Yeah, along with that and heart pills, yes. Because if anybody would have told me 2 weeks in a row and then another close game, I'd have never believed it. But you know what? And you look back a year ago, we lost those games. They were close games. We were in them, and we lost them. Well, that's part of the growing or the maturation, if you will, of those guys. They're mentally tough now. They're mentally tough. They're physically prepared to do battle, and it showed, and it's shown in those 3 games.
Coach, the biggest concern I see looking at the games that I was at and the box score of the games is red zone offense. A lot of times come away with 3 instead of 7 or 6. Is that something y'all are working on in the future?
Well, we work on that constantly. And again, I say this all the time to the players and to the staff. Those guys across on the other side of the ball, they get scholarships too. So again, guys are doing things that they didn't have to do a year ago. We're more talented now. Coach Reese has done a good job of putting those guys in place in position to have success. And with that being said, we're running the ball extremely well. So again, you look at the game against Ohio Dominion, we ran the ball in. So red zone area, we scored. Then you look at the Bluefield game, we didn't have a problem in the red zone. Then you look at the A&T game, we struggled, but we ran the ball and scored without being in the red zone. So I don't see a red zone struggle personally. If you look at us statistically, we're probably the highest team in the conference right now in terms of our red zone production. Fact check me. But again, we're going to continue to work and improve in all facets of the game. Offense, defense, special teams, and then situational stuff. We practice that stuff, so we'll get better.
Coach, you talk about running the ball. To have a pair of backs like Trevin and Noah, that you can rely on. How special is that as a head coach?
Well, it's good because, again, I truly believe if you can run the ball, play good defense, and good special teams, you'll always have a chance to win a game. And I think that's what we're doing right now. I know everybody's waiting for Dalen Lee to have a breakout passing game. Well, that's going to come. But again, you have to be able to run the ball in order for the passing game to really develop. And I think we're doing a good job of that. And David's making great decisions. 2 interceptions in 4 games, not bad, but again, he understands it, and it's going to come. So he's patient, and he's going to allow the game to come to him. So we'll be fine.
Noah, talk about the run that you had. Just have you ever had a run like that, and just how just what you saw on that play?
The O-line blocked it up great. They blocked it up perfectly. That was waiting to happen all game. We just punch them in the mouth, and eventually they got tired. And that's credit to Coach Massey. We run gashes every day. We're in great shape, and I saw the crease and I hit it and scored.
How is the running back room? How are you guys? How do you guys vibe together? You guys have several backs that can get it done. How does everybody stay happy and stay knowing that it's their time will be coming?
Well, I mean, it's college football. You really can't keep everybody happy. You just gotta make plays when you get your opportunity. You gotta. Our running back room is very deep. We got 6 people that I feel like you can put in there and they're gonna go make a big play.
Coach, you talk about the maturation of the team, the senior-led team. What's been the message from those guys?
Well, they want it. They've shown through their actions. Half of those guys have graduated, and they came back to play football, college football. They could have went on into corporate, into the real world. So the message is, hey, we're back for a reason, and we want to contend for a championship. And I think they've shown that in practice. Obviously, they're showing it come game time. And then the leadership off the field. I think we're having a lot more of positive things going on for the football team, football program off the field, as opposed to a lot of times you have those little problems that kind of can stir you away. We've been real fortunate. Most of the guys are in tow, and they're doing everything that's required, and I like that.
As a head coach, you must be pleased that the guys are taking the reins and kind of taking control of the locker.
Yes, because as a head coach, there's so many things you have to concern yourself with, but then when you got a senior-led team, like the offensive line, pretty much those guys back there behind you guys, most of those guys are seniors. So again, you talk about one less headache, if you would, for lack of a better word. And they're doing a great job of actually running and controlling and managing the team.
Robert, you guys are 4th in red zone offense, by the way,
Okay.
CIAA, which is 12 of 15, which is pretty good. What do you think is the biggest difference between this team and last year's team?
I'll say this again, and the 3 things that I think. One is the staff. We got Reese calling the offense. We got Coach Mack calling the defense. Marvin Bohannon is back. We're helping the secondary out. Corey Stewart is also working with the secondary. Well, before we have one guy back there, and it's tough. You got one coach got to watch 5 different positions. Chris Holmes, he's our offensive line, run game, as well as recruiting coordinator. We got Zach Kellum is our receiver coach. We got Zach Leslie is our assistant receiver coach. I don't want to miss anybody. We got Coach Springs is our linebacker coach. Coach Brown departed, left late, so we was kind of scrambling to get people in place. Because again, that's the hiring process is tough. That late in the school year. But, we found Coach Springs, and he's come in and done an outstanding job. So, again, when you start talking about Coach Gaither, Coach McCoy, who's an alum as well, Coach McLean, alum as well, those guys are part-time guys with full-time mentality. And I think that makes a big difference. They're here, they're committed, the players see it. It is a true, really do as I do type atmosphere around here. So again, these guys have instant, when I say these guys, I mean the players, they have instant role models that happen to be their coaches that they can follow their lead. And again, everybody knows at this point what we're doing makes sense, so the trust is there, the buy-in, if you will. So again, I have to say hats off to my staff. And if I missed any of you guys, because there's too many of you, but I love you and I appreciate you. But again, that's one of the biggest differences. And then the other 2 is simple, man. We got an additional 6 scholarships. So we brought some talent in here. And then we had what everybody in the college football world had. We had a summer. We had about 40, 50 guys. We were able to bring them in, the transfers, and some of the returning guys. We got to lift them. We got to bonding, becoming a team, being closer. We care a little more about one another. So I think that is the biggest difference.
We had a game-winning kick too. Talk to us about the kick. Just how that was for you and being trusted in that moment.
We've been in that situation before. The previous game, we're one play away from having to do a game-winning kick, so my head was already there. I was already prepared for it, and I was just going out there and just doing it.
With the scholarships, special teams have kind of gone, by the wayside because you haven't had scholarship space. Now you do, and now it's paying off. Talk about the special teams, Robert, and how much
Well, these 2 guys are also on special teams. So again, with the addition of scholarship dollars, that boosts the talent. And we talked about the running back room. You see Asa Barnes, who started a year ago for us, whose role is going to pick up. He's playing special teams as well. Gabe is a returner for us as well. So again, when you have the resources to put in place the vision of trying to win a championship, and you got some coaches that understand how to recruit and can assess and evaluate talent, that's a big help. It's a real big help, and that's the reality of it.
You guys are going up against Bowie State. Not the same Bowie State from, a couple years back, but still team coming off of a win, coming here in Bowman Gray. Just talk about the importance of this game as, it seems like everybody in CIAA is still kind of neck and neck right now.
Yeah, well, what you're seeing is the parity of this conference. It's a long time ago, you talked about the South. The name that would come up would be just Winston-Salem State. Then it turned for a while, now it's Fayetteville State. Well, that's no longer the case. For one, we have the mega conference, but at the end of the day, you look, John C. Smith, they're 4-0, 5-0, whatever the case may be, first time since 1982. Coach Flowers, great friend of mine, is doing extremely well. But the parallels are simple, man. Folk are improving the resources so we can go out and get the players we need to have the turnaround. There's some good coaching going on in the CIAA. There's some good recruiting going on in the CIAA. So you can't just say who's projected to win because, again, if we listen to the critics, for lack of a better word, V-State would have won it. But that's why you play this game. The beauty in this game is you can't talk it. You got to play it. And we're in a position now where, hey, we took our bumps, our bruises, and our lumps, and we're growing and we're developing, and we like our position. Hell, I wish it was better. Meaning we wish we could have got A&T Ed, but at the end of the day, we didn't. So we move on. But again, we're moving in the right direction. As long as we're trending in the right direction, I think we'll be fine. We got some guys banged up and injured, but guess what? So do they. So we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We just pick it up, next man up, and we have the ability to do that now because of the resources. Marshall, he's hurt. We don't know how long he's going to be down. But again, Hester's there. We just talked about Ace's role improving. We couldn't do that 2 years ago. So again, when you have the resources, things are a little easier. It's still going to be hard, but they're a little easier because now all I have to do is look at this thing and say, okay, I can move Ace out of this position, bring Gilead, whomever the case may be, over. So again, that's a big part of this thing, and that's an evolving part. You look at the D1 schools, you look right across town. What was that, $38 million building over there at Wake Forest? That's going to help. Maybe not to this year, maybe not right away, but it's going to help because it's part of the recruiting process. The recruiting calendar has changed. We almost can recruit year-round now in Division II, so that's going to be a benefit, for our guys to show up at some high school games and things of that nature. So again, and then this transfer portal is starting to settle down. Now D2 players are going to D2, D1 players are going to D1. Before, people were just trying to get away, obviously the highest bidders. Everybody, folks here, get the bag. Well, again, that's changed, and it's kind of clearing the smoke. So now we can see from a recruiting standpoint, you have a better idea of what you want to bring to your program. Again, times are changing, and we have to be abreast with the change.
Any more questions?
I'll just ask for the players. I mean, you guys, you see the rankings, you see predictions and everything like that. And Virginia State was predicted to finish first. Did it feel good to know that these are that you guys were able to knock off someone that everybody had kind of penciled in for the championship game? I spoke for the players.
Oh yes, sir. It definitely felt good to knock them off, but we don't really care about the rankings. We're worried about ourselves. We're worried about the team. We know we're the best team in the CIAA. We know we're gonna win it. We got that confidence. We go into practice every day, practice hard, and we know we're going to see the results.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him. Just, we never really pay attention too much to the rankings. They are what they are, but, at the end of the day, it's man versus man. So,
Now, turn your corners. I need you to see that group back there. Turn your cameras. I need you to see that group. Stand up, all you guys over there. You don't get this, you don't get enough. Those are the unsung heroes of college football. That's the offensive line, the Massey's Hogs, whatever you want to call them. Those guys have done an outstanding job, man. We're running the ball. We had, 250 yards this past weekend? And you're going to need that. And this is the way I'm saying thank you. I appreciate you. Continue to do what you're doing. They're all great students as well. So we're going to be fine as long as we got guys like that and these two gentlemen here representing Winston-Salem State. Appreciate you, fellas.
And real quick, Keith Quick was also the offensive lineman player of the week.
Keith.